Hey everyone, this is Justin here at Geek of All Trades, and today I want to talk to you how 3D printing can make your board games better. Specifically, I want to talk about Betrayal at the House on the Hill. So Betrayal at House on the Hill is a board game from Avalon Hill, who's owned by Wizards, who's owned by Hasbro. It's a cooperative board game. It's a lot of fun, but there are a ton of little pieces to it, and then some of the pieces that came with the game are just a little awkward, to say the least. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to talk about some of the things I've used my printer to help improve the game in many ways. So first I want to talk about character cards. So anyone who's played the game knows that to keep track of your stats in the game on the card, you get these little like coffin-shaped pointers, and they stay on. Well, they don't stay on, and that's the point. A light breeze comes through, and you lose track of what stats you have, and you have to try to remember, and it's just a pain in the butt. So what I got here is I found a little, just fun little tracker. It's got these little slides here, and as you see, nothing changes. It's still a 5. There's still a 5. Hey, look, nothing changes. Keeps real good track of the stats. Much easier to use. They fold away real easy, so if you want to play as the character on the back side of the card, you just flip it out, put it back in. And slide back, and you've now gone to Professor Longfellow, and this is probably the #1 single greatest thing you can do to improve your game. There are plenty of other markers online. You can go and search for them if you want. This is the one I found to be my favorite so far, and I'll have links to this and almost everything else here that I'm going to show you in the description below, and you'll see why I say almost everything here at the end. So what else did I do? Well, as the game progresses, there is this thing called Haunt phase, and as you draw Omen cards, you build up. So there's a little tracker that they have that comes with the game. And I can try to get a little close up. And I printed out these two little things. They sit on the table. Come on, autofocus. Focus. There it goes. And what you can do, you use this and you keep track of the Omen cards that you play. And then in some of the scenarios, you also use this to keep track of time or turns or all sorts of things. Is it necessary? No, but it's fun. And isn't that what board games and 3D printing can be about? So I really like that. And to go along with those, I'd also printed out some optional little character little tokens here to go along with some like the Omen or event cards. Like, here's, I think it's a young maiden is what the card. I'm going to finish these up and paint them eventually. The Madman. So when you draw the Man card, you actually have that to take around with you. The Dog, which is another one of the items you get. And then the Demon Dog, which is, I think, in one of the scenarios. Yet again, they're not necessary, but it's fun. And it will make the game feel more involved that way, and so I really like that. So then we have, for more storage purposes, this I found on Thingiverse. It's a storage container for all the tokens for the original game. It comes in, there's 3 parts. You got this bottom here, which holds all sorts of these monster tokens, which this in turn can click into place pretty well and keep all your stuff together. And then the top section here Opens up, it has the rest of the tokens in it. And they, it goes on one way. The little parts stick out just a little bit. That's fine. They don't go anywhere. And then a lid. There is, you can find some customized lid. I think that says Betrayal on it. That can be a lot of fun. Yet again, I got this and everything else so far I've talked about on Thingiverse, with the links below. Then next, for Christmas, I believe, I got the expansion called Widow's Walk. It adds, 50 more scenarios to the game. Really great, a lot of fun. The problem is the original token holder that I just showed you that I have printed out doesn't fit all the new tokens. So I went searching, and on My Mini Factory, I had found from creator Adam Spiker. Here's his Widow's Walk token holder. It's a lot of fun. It's I like the design. I like the shape. I like this little lid. It kind of pressure fits in the top, but it should, in the box, should hold everything together unless you're throwing your box around like crazy. It holds all the new tokens, like all the new little character that are like really small circles, the new square, all of that. And then, like I said, lid pressure fits in. You got this fun cross symbol on the top of it there. That I really enjoy, and I just had a couple fly out because I didn't close it all the way. That's okay. We'll finish putting those away later. When I had first looked this up, he didn't have it available to download on My Mini Factory. The only way you could get a hold of it was through his Etsy page called Decked Out 3D, and I'll also have a link to that below, where he sells prints of some of his own original prints, like this one. Or there's also he also just kind of has a 3D printing service where he prints out other board game related models that he's found on like Thingiverse or something. But so go ahead and you can check him out either My Mini Factory or at Adam Spiker or Decked Out 3D, and that's great. But I look at that and I'm like, that's that it's great. So much was available already for the game, but I felt like I needed more. And that's what's fun about 3D printing is with a little work. You can not only just find and print out what other people have done, you can make some of your own. So that's what I've started doing. So what I have here are the 3 different card types 3D printed into their own little deck boxes. You got your events, items, and your omens. This was kind of one of my first real tries at modeling. I'd done a mom fidget spinner before using Mesh Mixer, and you can find the link to that video down below. But this was really my first attempt at a real starting to model something for real. So and even though, as you can see, even though there's obviously not nearly as many Omen cards as there are event cards, I made them all the same, so they just stack easier in the box. However you want to put them, they fit better. Because as much as I like what I've already found, I have plans on. I want to try to make all the original stuff fit inside nicely into the Widow's Walk box, which is much smaller. It's about the same around, but you lose about 2 inches of height, or an inch, something like that. So I'm working on that, and these cards were my first step. You will not find the links to these below, because I've decided that models that I'm creating are going to be available for my patrons over at Patreon. So if you're really interested in this file, these files for these card holders or any other files I come up with in the future, go check out my Patreon page. Help support me. I don't know how I'm quite going to distribute these yet, but I'm working on it. But I'll make sure that any backers who want these files will get a hold of them. So, and then I'm working on other stuff. I want everything to fit into one box. So I'm also posting this over here. It's a picture. It's really early preliminary layout stuff. It's got a lot of work to do. But that'll fit not only the original tokens as well as Widow Walk tokens all in one single container. I also have plans on making a little essentially boxes to hold the room tiles, and then also design a little box that'll hold all of these together, and then hopefully it'll probably be a 2-part print on my end, but design a part, pretty much an insert for the box that will hold all these individual elements nicely in the box, so I can just take them all out as need be. So like I said, any of those things that I develop in the future, I will be posting on my Patreon, available to all my patrons. So as a thank you for for helping the channel. And on that, I want to thank everyone for watching the video. I really like what I do. Your support goes a long way to help me do what I like to do. I'm gonna keep making content regardless, but just watching the video through, sharing, liking, hitting the little notification bell to get future videos, subscribing to the channel, all these things really help me create more content that I can bring to you. And if there's not enough content here, why don't you go check out all my other sites at the Instagram, the Facebook, and the Patreon. They'll all be down below in the description. So, until next time, see you later.